Today could be expensive because my 1991 Volkswagen Corrado G60 is in for its annual MOT and full service. And with a car this old, anything could happen. If you're new here, this is my Volkswagen Corrado G60, a 1991 supercharged coupe. But when you own a car that's 34 years old, MOT day is pretty frightening. Right, now the car feels great to drive, but obviously with the age of it, you never know what's underneath it. I've not had a chance to ever put this up on a ramp, so I've only ever had a good look round it, looked under the bonnet, and I can see through the wheels a little bit. I've not even had the wheels off it, so we don't know what's going to happen. I have a quick look around it now the best I can. Obviously I can't get underneath it, but a quick look under the hood now, just to make sure everything's in order before it goes in for its service. It is having a service anyway, so it's not too much of an issue, but just want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to cause a failure on the MOT that I could have foreseen before going in. Don't want to look too stupid, do we? So as well as the MOT, it'll be having a full service to include obviously the oil change, fuel filter, air filter, but also it's due for its timing belt to be changed as well. Obviously there's the things that I can't see underneath the car, such as the brakes, the suspension, or anything like that. It could be corrosion that I've not yet been aware of. When you've got a car this old that's been sat there most of the year, yes, I keep it under cover, but you never know what corrosion might have started. Suspension bushes, springs, brake hoses, brake lines, fuel tank. Could be a number of different things underneath there. And that's just some of the things I can think of off the top of my head. So without getting underneath it and having a look, I'm never gonna know. So yeah, MOT day is pretty frightening when you've got a car this old. I know how it feels. I'm nearly 40 years old and I don't think I'd pass an MOT either. So we're off on our way to get the service and MOT done, get through some of the morning traffic. As much as it feels really smooth to drive for a 34-year-old car, the one thing I do notice this morning, whether I'm being hyper focused or not, I'm not sure, is that the brakes do feel a tad spongy. So they might just need a good brake bleed as part of the service. Now, one of the things I have checked is, just out of curiosity, is what mileage the car was on last time it went in for a service. And we're on 66,016 at the minute. And the last service was done at 64 something or other. So, you know, it's not even done 2,000 miles since the last service. So I'm hoping that it shouldn't need much, or there shouldn't be much being found either, because the mileage at the last MOT will have been the same, because the service and MOTs were done at a relatively about the same time each year. So I'm hoping that there shouldn't be anything major that's picked up on today's MOT, and hopefully we'll have Corey back on the road, ready for the summer ahead, plenty of shows and plenty of car meets to come. But of course we are in morning traffic, and and there's lots of idiots out in the morning traffic, and somebody's just pulled out in front of me and I've had to put those spongy brakes to the test. So let's hope we do make it there in one piece. So with this being the first service and MOT that I've had with the Corrado, I wanted to take it to a specialist ideally. I've been doing a lot of research, as you tend to do. The service history in the car is generally Volkswagen or Audi dealers, but that doesn't mean to say it's going to be the best service you're going to get. It definitely will be the most expensive. Now what I did is I went on Facebook and I put into one of the classic car groups that I'm part of, and it's a local one, and asked for local recommendations on somebody who would definitely be looking after a classic car, someone who could appreciate it for what it is. I wouldn't just put it through as any normal car, and they'd look after it and take care of it for me. So I got an answer back with loads of likes on it, which was great, because that's recommendations from other people saying, yeah, this is the one to go for. And so that's where we're going today. And the guy who runs this garage, which is Ashley MOT and Servicing, he's part of the group and has some classic cars of his own. So I know he's going to look after it for me. And fingers crossed, he's sympathetic of anything that does need doing. Although that said, anything that needs doing on this car, no matter how small, will be getting done. Right, here we are, Ashley MOT and Service. This is it. Right, so that's it. The car is now dropped off. I'm waiting for an Uber so I can get back home, do some work for a bit. But fingers crossed, hopefully everything will be okay. They've got my number, they'll give me a call if anything is required. I'll be sat quite nervously next to that phone today. Hoping it's just a quick call to say everything's fine and the car has passed, ready for the summer. So let's see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed. What do you reckon is going to happen?
6 hours later.
So we've picked up the Corrado from its service and MOT. Full service carried out and the MOT is done. What do you think happened? You've got 5 seconds to take a guess. Did it pass or fail the MOT? You've got 5 seconds now. Lift music. Right, that's enough of that. What do you think? So, it did pass. However, there was the one thing that I couldn't check myself, which it failed on. But they've sorted it for me anyway and put it through as a pass. So when it come to me having a quick look round the car to check it out before I brought it along here for its MOT, I checked all the lights, but I didn't have anybody with me to check the brake lights, and there was a brake light out. So the nice people at the garage have put a bulb in there for me free of charge and put it through as a pass. So Corey is back on the road, not that it was off the road, on the road for another 12 months, ticket MOT'd, good to go, and the service is done and dusted. So we'll see if it feels good as we're driving along. Hopefully it feels smooth, but that said, it hadn't done many miles since the last service anyway. The only problem today has brought for me is I still need to find somebody to do the cam belt, because they rang me earlier on today to tell me that they don't have the specialist tool that is required for tensioning the belts. So I'm going to have to find somebody else who can do the cam belt on it. And obviously whilst the cam belt's off, I'll have the water pump replaced as well, just whilst it's off. So yeah, that's just another job that needs doing. When you own a 34-year-old car, these are the things that you have to keep looking forward to, job after job after job. But here we are. We've only got a cam belt to do, which is just maintenance work. It's not like it's going to snap anytime soon, touch wood. So we'll get that done ASAP. There's only one way to find out if the Corrado is still running as smooth as it was before, and now it's warmed up from sitting in traffic. We can finally go onto the dual carriageway and just see how it feels, and it gives you an excuse to have a little blast. Right, here we go, onto the dual carriageway. Still got a kick to it, never loses that kick. You feel that supercharger kicking in and that power beneath your right foot. Obviously only to 70 miles an hour, of course, because that's the limit. And there's far too much traffic around, ruins it. Just absolutely love that proper analog feel of driving this car. It is literally just you, the road, and a steering wheel and a few wheels in between. Nothing like when you get into a proper modern day car where you feel like you're just somewhat disconnected with the road. With this, you're just not. Oh yeah! And those brakes are still sharp as we come to the next set of traffic lights. Absolutely love it. Now, as I said, the mileage wasn't exactly loads between the last service and MOT and this service and MOT, but when you've got a car that has got such good history, impeccable history should I say, where it's been serviced on time every single year since it's been born, you've got to look after it, and it gives you that peace of mind knowing that you can go into the rest of the year driving it how it should be driven. These cars were built to be driven, so it just gives me that peace of mind that I can carry on using it the way it should be used. I must say though, I don't know what air filter they've actually put into this, but it might be worth having a look at some point. But I think the intake sounds a lot throatier since they've replaced it. So I'm not sure what air filter they've replaced it with. It'd be worth checking. And that's definitely not a bad thing. It sounds great. So the Corrado has survived for another 12 months. But as I mentioned, there's always going to be things to do on a car at this age. So follow the journey, make sure you subscribe, please like, I'd be really grateful if you could like and subscribe to the channel. And hopefully there'll be loads more stories to come from my Volkswagen Corrado and plenty more retro cars on the way. Take care, we'll see you in the next one.